And now we move into the fifth and final series of the Daily Spine Fit series. We're going to be doing this series mainly focusing on our symmetry. So this is more stretching that we have been doing so far, but it's ideally to show you how tight you are from the left side and the right side. As I said in the introduction, how will you know if one side's tighter than the other unless you do some stretching exercises to find out which mobile joints may be losing their mobility. So I'm going to ask my models if they can lie on their backs for me, please. I might have your feet down there, Sarah, and thank you, Pete. Okay, good. Okay, so with straight legs out, what we're going to do is a simple knee to chest. But what we're going to do, Sarah, if you could take your left knee in your right hand, Pete, if you could do the opposite. And what we're going to do is that we're going to put the knee, pull the knee to the opposite shoulder. You'll notice Sarah has her hand on her buttock here to stop her from getting a sense that she's moving away from the floor. We still want to keep the left buttock in this case on the floor and move the right knee to the shoulder. Pete, you're going to bring it over to, now Pete's tight in his hips, remember, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge for the hips, and Pete's bringing it over to his right knee to his left shoulder. You're going to hold this for 10 breaths. If you guys would like to do the other side. Good. So you can see how their hands are making sure that their buttocks don't roll over and lose contact with the floor. Nice and easy, but really good for just opening up the back of those hips. Very good. The next series that we're going to do is we're going to do a movement series. It's a series within a series. If you guys can bend both knees, have your feet outside of your hips, so a little wider. And what I'm going to ask you to do is have both knees go to the side and then bring them back to the other side. And I want you to do this in a continuous movement. Now what this is a window wiper action. You go at a nice pace like these guys are doing. You're doing internal, external rotation, internal, external rotation. You should feel this on the side, but you're well grounded on the floor. So it's really good for opening up those hips. That's excellent, you guys. About 5 each side is perfect. Okay, back to the middle, Pete. We're going to bring the knees together now, you guys. We're going to bring the knees up to the chest. We're going to have our hands out, and now we're going to have our knees go from side to side. So it's still the movement series, but what we're doing is moving into the lumbar spine. So again, we're getting movement left and right. You guys can go a little quicker if you want. Now the beauty of this is that it's engaging the core muscles as you do it. As you'll notice, Sarah's moving down the floor. That happens all the time. So make a few arrangements to reorganize yourself once you've done it. Very good, thanks Sarah. Would you like to come back towards us, Pete? Come back towards us. So that was the second of the little movement series. The third part of the miniature series within the series is if you guys can bring your knees up to chest again, let the knees go to come this way for me please, Sarah. Pete, you can come this way. And what I want you to do is with the hand that's on the side is I want you to anchor those knees down. Now this anchors the bottom half, and what I'm going to ask you to do is take that hand out for me, Sarah. They may not see it on screen, and I want you to roll right over, try and miss each other, and get a nice rotation through the thoracic spine, and then go back the other way. That's good. All the way over, and do about 5 of these each side. As you can see, our setting is very much like a living room, so there is going to be times where you're going to actually have your hands bump some furniture, but this is a very expansive exercise, but it's fantastic for stabilizing the lower back whilst you move that thoracic spine. That thoracic spine, or the spine in the middle, gets very tight in office jobs and in sitting. Okay, you guys can, we won't worry about doing the other sides, we'll do that off camera. Okay. That's very good. So the next exercise, you guys can come a little bit closer together if you like. Now this is quite a challenge for people with hips. So what we're going to do with tight hips, so what we're going to do is that we're going to put an ankle on the knee, and this is called thread the needle. So from here, we're going to get you to lift that knee on its own, then we're going to take the hand and thread it through and hold onto the knee for me, Sarah. Pete, can you get hold of that knee? I don't mind if the top half comes up. Now what I'm going to ask you to do here, on the side of the knee, you make this arm work harder than the other, so that you pull the knee to the same shoulder, knee to same shoulder. What I want to avoid is this. So if we can keep that knee to the same shoulder, you're going to feel a really strong stretch in these glute areas right in through here. Okay, I'll get you guys to swap that over. The muscle we are stretching here is called the piriformis. If you can, just do your best, that's good. And bring, no Sarah, we're going to grab the knee. That's it, hand through, knee, perfect, perfect. And now, remember Pete had a hip replacement, so this is a struggle. So what I'll get you to do here, Pete, is just hold that position. So there, and just breathe and let that open up in its own time. Now what this is a muscle called the piriformis. This is a very busy muscle that is involved with every step that you take. It can be likened to the anatomy of a chicken. On the thigh of a chicken, you'll notice that there's a nice white layer and then there's a redder muscle underneath. You guys can relax those now. That redder muscle is red because it does more work and it's tighter and firmer. So that's the muscle we're trying to unwind here, which will certainly help us unwind our lower back. And it can be quite a struggle for many people. Okay, finally you guys, I'm going to ask you to sit up and do your best to sit with cross legs. And this is the last exercise you're going to do in the Daily Spine Fit series. And this is something you can practice easily once you've finished the series and you're all warmed up in those hips, and just slowly melt in this position. Let the knees come towards the floor, and if you feel like you can, then you lean forward, and you may feel this quite strong in the back of the spine. That's well done. Finally, I just want to thank my models here and say what a wonderful job they've done. They had no idea what was in front of them, just like you may not know what's in front of you guys, but try it. If it's sore, then talk to your health professional, but I believe that if you do this regularly, you will get a lot of benefit, and if you do see your health professional, they will be delighted that you're starting to move your body and starting to get more balance, more symmetry, and certainly more mobility in your joints.